Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming here today. We're here today to make sure Nassau County citizens are aware of what county officials are doing in preparation for a tropical storm, soon to be Hurricane Hermine. We have with us today Nassau County Emergency Management Director Billy Estep. We have Nassau County Manager Ted Selby, County Commission Chair Walter Jr. Boatwright, School Superintendent Dr. John Ruiz, Fernandina Beach Fire Chief Ty Silcox, Hilliard Mayor David Buchanan. We also have County Commissioner Danny Leeper and County Commissioner Pat Edwards. We expect to have severe weather in our area beginning later tonight and early tomorrow morning with heavy rain, wind, and possible tornadoes. We will have all of our personnel available just in case they are needed. We also will have deputies available with chainsaws just in case small trees are blown across roadways so we can get them cleared quickly. When severe weather begins, we ask that you please stay off the roads if at all possible. There will be debris on the roadway and possible standing water along with flooding. Afterwards, please don't drive around sightseeing as we need to keep roads clear in case emergency vehicles need to respond. There may be periodic closures of the Selby Bridge and the Nassau Sound Bridge if sustained winds are 40 miles per hour or higher. These closures will only be temporary and will reopen as the winds subside. We will now have each of our policy leadership group speak on their preparations and what they're going to do. First, I'll hand it off to County Manager Ted Selby.
Thank you, Sheriff Leeper. With regard to the county facilities, we plan to close all county buildings tomorrow morning. We will reopen Tuesday morning after the Monday holiday, with the exception of essential personnel and fire and rescue, road and bridge, and the facility maintenance people. Will have people on call and ready to respond at any time for our needs. If there are any problems that the citizens have, if they would just contact the Emergency Operations Center, we will have people involved at the EOC and we will respond accordingly. Turn it over now to the Chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, Junior Boatwright.
Thank you, Mr. Selby. As he said just a little over an hour ago, the Board of County Commissioners instituted a state of emergency for Nassau County for state purposes. And as was said last night on some other news channels, some other counties, we don't want to scare anyone, but this is what we have to do to implement our emergency plans for fire, rescue, police, public safety, and our public works people, and also for the school system. So we're getting the shelters ready. We're trying to stay ahead of this thing as fast as possible. It's changing, but whatever people need, we will be there somehow to take care of them. I think it's Dr. Ruiz.
Nassau County schools have been closed for tomorrow, and that includes after school and extracurricular activities as well. Of course, our priority is always for the safety of our students and being able to transport them to and from home and to house them in our facilities in a safe manner. And with the conditions that appear to be pending, we didn't feel like that we could accommodate that to the extent that we would like to, and certainly we want our kids to be safe. And also we'll have shelter for special needs open at Hilliard Middle Senior High School. That will also serve as a general shelter for the public as well. Hopefully we won't have to open any more, but certainly if that was needed, we're prepared to do that as well. We'll have our personnel deployed to provide assistance and support for those shelters should they be needed, and for the one that has already been designated for Hilliard Middle Senior High for special needs and general sheltering purposes.
Nassau County needs to prepare for a significant wind event. If you have loose debris, loose articles around your home, now's the time to start preparing your homes for this wind event. Banding storms are going to start earlier this afternoon and into the evening hours. This storm is in fact building a little bit, and forecasters are now emphasizing to be prepared for a high potential for tornado activity in Nassau County. Citizens may experience prolonged power outages over the next 24 to 36 hours. As such, electrically dependent medical patients that are at home and need sheltering If you will, please call the Emergency Operations Center here. We will make arrangements to ensure that you have transportation to those locations. Those living in wind-vulnerable structures, a general population shelter has been or will be opened later today at 8 o'clock tonight. Shelters will be opened at 8 o'clock tonight in Nassau County. And as such, if you, again, feel that you are in a vulnerable structure, please seek shelter at Hilliard Middle Senior High School. In addition to that, if you have any questions at all that you feel are not being answered, please give us a call here at the Emergency Operations Center. Our Citizens Information line is open, 904-548-0900. Press option 1. Let me repeat that, 904-548-0900. Press option 1, and our call takers will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
This concludes our remarks. If anyone has any questions, we'll be more than happy to try to answer.
Sheriff, what area of the county is at greatest risk right now?
You want to answer that, Billy?
Currently, with the projected path, obviously, Hilliard is in the cone of uncertainty, as they say. However, with the way that the storm is now building in this afternoon, the entire county is now in a vulnerable situation because of its extreme winds.
The beaches area, what should people know about that?
Well, the beaches area obviously is going to be vulnerable relative to the opening and closing of the bridges. We will be making notification through our social media, our webpage, as well as our Everbridge alert notification system to alert them that the bridges are being closed.
At the shelter, what could people expect? Do they have to bring their own food? Can they bring their pets?
They should be prepared to bring whatever essentials they need, make sure that they have toiletries, medications, bedding, and that type of thing. And then we will provide them with obviously a safe place and electricity overnight.
Mr. Easton, you talked about the closing of the bridges. What's the time frame again, and what will make that determination? Is it the strength of the winds?
Yes, there will not be a time frame. We're not going to schedule the bridges to be closed. We're going to post deputies out there and basically monitor the winds. When sustained winds get to tropical storm force, as the sheriff said, 40 miles per hour or greater sustained, we'll close the bridges until such a time as the winds subside.
So what is the message to those on the island, as it's called?
Tonight is a good night to make sure you're prepared for this wind event and hunker down at home and wait and see what happens overnight and be prepared to come out tomorrow after the storm passes.
What are the areas where you are expecting significant flooding?
We do not expect to see any significant flooding in Nassau County. We will see some pretty good rains over the next 24, 36 hours. Now the rain event is expected to last into the afternoon tomorrow. But fortunately, we could say that we've not had a lot of rain in the last several weeks, as they've had over in the Swanee Valley, for instance. And so we don't have an accumulation, so we'll be able to absorb quite a bit of rain. Relative to storm surge, again, most of that's going to happen in the coastal areas of Georgia.
What are some important tips for residents to get them prepared?
Again, making sure they have the debris, making sure that picked up, making sure that they have a safe location in their home identified in the event that they get a tornado warning.
Can I ask Sheriff a question? Sheriff, you had previously said at different incidents, don't expect us to come and rescue you because you want to keep your own people safe. Is that a message you want to share with citizens and visitors here?
Well, our concern is to make sure that our residents are safe, but also our employees as well. So if the weather gets so severe that their safety is in jeopardy, then they'll hunker down somewhere where it's safe and then come out after the storm subsides.
Yeah, because that's what the governor, I heard his news conference today. He said, we can't come and get you if it's terrible for our folks.
Yeah, we don't want to put our folks in jeopardy as well either, so make sure you're in a safe place and stay there, don't wander out, because if you get in trouble, there may not be anybody there to help you.
There's
With regard to the citizens and potential flooding, should this change a little bit, we want to make citizens aware of the fact that we have sand and sandbags available at the Hilliard Yard and at the Bailey Road Yard and at the Mickler Building in Callahan, if they should come about a time that they need sandbags.
What time would that be?
That will be during the 8 to 5 time in the, tomorrow, which would be normal working hours for us.
They would have to bag their own sandbags.
In some cases, we were going to have some already bagged up. The sheriff was going to send some trustees out to do that, and so there should be some already bagged up, but yes, they can bag their own sandbags if necessary.
So those still recovering from the tornado earlier this month, I was out there in that area yesterday, and there's a lot of people with still blue tarps on their homes, really trying to bounce back. What's your message to them if they don't feel safe in their homes?
I would say, according to Mr. Estep, they need to seek shelter at the open shelter at the Hilliard Middle Senior.
Is that, and just to double check, is that the only shelter right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Chairman, could you just talk a little bit about the process? You had come out here and said it's a formal process that you have to sign in order to have an emergency situation. For what? For state money? For just to turn over some control to different agencies?
Mr. Selby, as our county manager, can call the state of emergency, but not without the vote of the Board of County Commissioners. So we voted unanimously at 2 o'clock to call for the state of emergency, and that makes us eligible for backup help from the National Guard, whatever else, whatever, as hard as we get hit or if we get hit, we can apply to the state and say we declared a state of emergency and we need your help.
Are any of you staffing here tonight?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course.
That'd be a lot.
Is the whole team
Yeah.
coming? I don't know who else is coming.
There'll probably be about 24 people here tonight of various agencies.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.